gotta focus on yourself, on your faith, on your dreams, on your mind, on your health, yeah. You gotta work, never tell, keep your head down, find what you love and excel, yeah.
Out of all the photography-focused Ultra flagships this year, this was the phone I was most excited to test. The leaks sounded so ambitious that they almost felt impossible, but after finally using the Find X9 Ultra, I can confidently say OPPO actually delivered. The resemblance is honestly shocking. Cover the OPPO logo and most people would assume it's a Hasselblad camera. That's no accident. This version is called the Ground Explorer Edition, and photography enthusiasts will instantly recognize the inspiration. From the square camera layout and balanced proportions to the Hasselblad branding and signature orange accent, it clearly pays tribute to the Hasselblad X2D Ground Explorer.
Big thanks to my tech partner over in China for providing this footage. I really appreciate the support in making this video happen. Hey everyone, Stella here from techiestreet. If you're into staying updated with the newest gadgets, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our latest tech content.
And before we even discuss image quality, there's something special about holding this phone. It somehow makes you feel more like a photographer. The emotional appeal is real. What's even more impressive is the attention to detail. Despite using 4 different camera modules, the blacked-out design blends everything together beautifully. A textured metal ring surrounds the camera housing, the microphone is cleverly hidden, and the polished circular accents give the entire module a premium, well-balanced look. Even with all this hardware, the Find X9 Ultra never feels overly bulky. The camera bump is surprisingly controlled, build quality is excellent, and the vegan leather back combined with the matte metal frame makes it feel closer to a real camera while staying comfortable in hand. If the Ground Explorer Edition feels too bold, OPPO also offers cleaner white and orange versions, inspired by glaciers and canyon landscapes. They look more minimalist, but keep the same premium feel. As I mentioned earlier, OPPO didn't build a camera that just happens to make calls. This is still a complete flagship smartphone, and the specs prove it. We've prepared a full spec table separately, but one feature deserves special attention: the display. The phone features a huge 6.82-inch flat display with ultra-thin 1.4mm bezels. It uses BOE's X3 materials and OPPO's custom Display P3 Pro chip, paired with sharp 2K resolution and a buttery smooth 144Hz refresh rate. In testing, it reached 820 nits full-screen brightness and peaked at 1850 nits, making it one of the best flagship displays available today. OPPO also paid close attention to eye comfort. You get adaptive color temperature tuning, 2160 Hz PWM dimming for sensitive users, brightness as low as 1 nit, and TÜV Rheinland certification. Nighttime viewing feels much more comfortable, although we still don't recommend endless scrolling in total darkness. Performance and battery life are equally impressive. The Snapdragon 8 Gen 5 works alongside OPPO's Tide engine optimization, while the huge 7050 mAh battery supports 100-watt wired and 50-watt wireless charging. In daily use, the Find X9 Ultra feels every bit like a true flagship with zero concerns about speed or endurance. Now let's get to the real reason everyone's here: the cameras. OPPO took an already excellent camera system and upgraded every lens. The result is a noticeably more refined photography experience across the board. Starting with the main camera, OPPO uses Sony's flagship LYT-901 sensor. It's a large 1.12-inch sensor with 200 megapixel resolution and a 23mm focal length. The aperture has been widened to f1.5, boosting light intake by around 10% compared to the previous generation. Next is the mid-range telephoto camera, and this setup is seriously impressive. OPPO combines a huge 1.28-inch sensor with an f2.2 aperture at over 3 zoom. The result is beautiful natural background blur and outstanding detail thanks to the 200 megapixel resolution. You also get optical stabilization and macro photography from just 15 centimeters away. Using the OV52A sensor with a 70mm equivalent focal length, this camera pushes mobile telephoto photography to a whole new level. Even the ultra-wide camera wasn't ignored. OPPO uses the LYT600 sensor, delivering 50-megapixel resolution, a 1.195-inch sensor, and a bright f2.0 aperture at 14 millimeters. Compared to the previous generation, light capture improves by roughly 56%. Honestly, even if OPPO stopped with these three cameras, the X9 Ultra would already deserve the Ultra name. But the biggest surprise is still waiting, the highly anticipated 10x telephoto lens, which we'll discuss shortly. Before that, let's compare image quality. For reference, we brought in the Samsung Galaxy S26 Ultra, another flagship with a 200-megapixel main camera. In daylight, even a small crop reveals the Find X9 Ultra's advantage. It captures noticeably more detail while keeping sharpening and processing artifacts under better control. And this isn't just about hardware. OPPO's dynamic resolution system intelligently increases pixel output when lighting is good and subjects remain stable. Instead of relying on a separate high-resolution mode, it automatically maximizes detail when needed. At its native focal length, the 200-megapixel sensor lets you zoom deep into photos and still reveal tiny textures with impressive clarity. It also gives photographers huge flexibility when cropping. Whether you prefer a 35mm or 50mm perspective, you can crop later without sacrificing image quality. Up to 3 zoom, the sensor handles motion, texture, colors, and consistency exceptionally well. Samsung's 3x camera simply can't keep up. Its 10-megapixel sensor feels surprisingly weak by comparison. Meanwhile, the X9 Ultra retains excellent detail and even preserves natural depth of field at long distances. And as for Samsung's native 5x advantage, in real-world use, it barely makes a difference.
Now you can probably see why I call this phone the absolute ceiling of mobile photography. Sure, the ultra-wide camera upgrade isn't as dramatic as the telephoto leap, but image clarity still pulls ahead of the Samsung Galaxy S26 Ultra. Compared to the previous generation, the biggest improvement comes from OPPO's much more refined HDR processing. The difference becomes especially obvious on LCD displays. For the next photo samples, I've removed all the watermarks. No clues, no branding, just pure image quality. Take a close look and try to guess which phone captured the best shot. Pause the video if you need to, then drop your answer in the comments before the reveal. Ready? Photo A was taken by the Samsung S26 Ultra. Photo B came from the iPhone 17 Pro Max, and Photo C? That was the OPPO Find X9 Ultra. I'm willing to bet most of you chose C, and honestly, that huge optical sensor did not disappoint. Once you move beyond 10x zoom, the Find X9 Ultra starts creating a clear gap. Because the hardware is so powerful, OPPO doesn't need aggressive software tricks. Even at extreme zoom levels, images stay natural without the over-sharpened, artificial look many phones produce. Now, some people might say, I never use 10x zoom anyway. But maybe that's because most smartphones simply don't perform well at 10x. OPPO's philosophy is simple. A camera should inspire creativity, not make users avoid certain focal lengths because quality falls apart. When 10x actually looks good, suddenly it becomes useful everywhere. Concerts, classrooms, zoos, cityscapes, distant subjects, you start finding reasons to use it. Sure, telephoto won't replace your main camera, but it completes the photography experience. Smooth transitions between focal lengths matter. So how did OPPO fit a true 10x optical telephoto system into a phone already packed with hardware? The challenge is simple. Telephoto lenses need physical distance, but nobody wants a phone with a camera bump the size of a telescope.
That's why periscope cameras were invented. By using a prism to bend light sideways, manufacturers could use the phone's internal space more efficiently. That was first-generation periscope technology. As sensors got bigger, engineers ran into new limitations, so they introduced double reflection designs, making cameras thinner and easier to package. But building a true 10x optical telephoto system creates a completely different problem. At that point, thickness isn't the issue anymore. Internal space becomes the real challenge. And this is where OPPO got clever. Inside the Find X9 Ultra is OPPO's Hasselblad Reflectionless Periscope Telephoto system. Using advanced semiconductor-level manufacturing and nanoscale prism coatings, OPPO created an ultra-thin air interface between prisms that helps suppress stray light and improve optical performance. Honestly, the engineering here deserves serious respect. This isn't the first 10x optical telephoto camera in a smartphone, but combine that zoom level with such a large sensor and a bright f.3.5 aperture, and you've got something we've never really seen before. Can another company beat it soon? That's a big question. And if you look at smartphone camera history, OPPO has consistently been ahead of the curve. From large sensor telephotos to periscope cameras and dual periscope systems, the Find series keeps pushing mobile optics forward. Looking at the results from the Find X9 Ultra makes you wonder what OPPO's next breakthrough might be. But here's another question. The main camera, telephoto camera, and super telephoto camera all use different sensors from different manufacturers. So can they actually maintain consistent colors? Surprisingly, yes. That's thanks to OPPO's second-generation original color sensor. This new multispectral sensor uses 24 spectral channels and supports DCG HDR, significantly improving dynamic range and color accuracy. Some people may focus on its 3.2 megapixel resolution, but that's missing the point. For color measurement, spectral channels and pixel quality matter far more than megapixel count. The manufacturing process has also improved from 90 nanometers to 40 nanometers, boosting efficiency and allowing real-time color calibration during photo and video capture. And the difference is easy to see. In side-by-side comparisons, the Find X9 Ultra delivers much better color consistency than most competitors. The advantage becomes especially obvious in scenes with large areas of solid color. Across nearly every test, colors looked more natural and accurate. Once color accuracy is solved, the next challenge is making photos feel more artistic, and this is another area where OPPO has invested heavily. In my opinion, OPPO has been one of the biggest HDR innovators in recent years. The Find X9 Ultra supports a complete end-to-end HDR workflow that's still incredibly rare among Android flagships. On the creative side, Master Mode and X-Version Mode remain signature features. With one tap, you can create rich cinematic images or switch to a dramatic 2.35:1 widescreen format for more storytelling-focused photography. This year, OPPO also introduced a brand new digital film system inside Master Mode. The presets recreate different film moods and textures, from the soft, low-contrast He Guang style to the vintage-inspired Jumeirah look. Whether you love dramatic street photography or quiet, long-distance storytelling shots, there's a preset that fits your style. And it doesn't stop there. You can import your own looks, fine-tune settings, and even share custom presets with others. If you're into film aesthetics and cinematic photography, you'll probably spend hours experimenting here. Finally, all these hardware upgrades benefit video recording too. The biggest improvement is stabilization. Footage looks unbelievably smooth, almost like it was shot on a dedicated gimbal. Even while moving, motion stays controlled, stable, and impressively professional.
But now comes the part that really separates the OPPO Find X9 Ultra from the competition. The upgrades built for professional creators. These days, plenty of phones can record 8K video. that's nothing special anymore. But true 8K 10-bit log recording, that's still incredibly rare. And OPPO doesn't stop there. The Find X9 Ultra also supports 4K 120 FPS in 10-bit, making it clear this phone isn't just designed for casual users. What's even more interesting is OPPO's brand new O-Log 2 imaging system. Unlike traditional log profiles, O-Log 2 focuses heavily on preserving dynamic range and improving mid-tone detail. The footage may look slightly darker at first glance, but highlight retention is dramatically better. Tonal transitions feel smoother, contrast looks more natural, and creators get far more flexibility when color grading. And this is where OPPO shows it truly understands professionals. The OPPO Find X10 Ultra series now supports built-in LUT restoration and even allows custom LUT imports directly on the phone. Better yet, you can burn those LUTs straight into the final video export. That means creators can capture log footage, quickly restore colors, and share content without spending hours editing. It's a huge time saver. Inside Pro Video mode, users can switch directly between SDR and HDR workflows while enjoying what may be the closest Hasselblad-style color science we've ever seen on a smartphone. But OPPO didn't stop with software. To support serious creators, it also launched a dedicated Hasselblad professional imaging kit. The package includes a protective case, filter adapter ring, shoulder strap, and a professional handheld grip. And then there's the real beast, the Hasselblad Professional Ultra Teleconverter Lens. This accessory is nearly as long as the phone itself and packs 16 glass lens elements. Once attached, it extends the Find X9 Ultra's native 70mm telephoto lens all the way to 300mm, showcasing how powerful the optical system really is. OPPO even includes practical extras like a tripod ring, heat shield, and carrying case. One look at the sample photos and you'll immediately understand how serious this setup is. It feels less like a phone accessory and more like a professional optical system built together with Hasselblad. Now let's move over to software. After 6 months of refinement, ColorOS 16 feels smoother and more polished than ever before. User feedback has been overwhelmingly positive, and OPPO has introduced several new features alongside the phone. One of the biggest additions is the redesigned lock screen island system. The update introduces a cleaner, proud wolf mode and a more immersive visual mode. Switching between them feels fluid, modern, and highly polished. Travelers get something special too. Imagine your phone helping organize your entire trip automatically. ColorOS 16 intelligently combines transportation details, schedules, itineraries, and planning tools into one seamless experience, almost like having a personal travel assistant built into your pocket. OPPO's ongoing investment in AI and software optimization has delivered meaningful improvements throughout the system. Some of these upgrades work quietly in the background, so they're difficult to fully demonstrate in a short video. Some features simply need to be experienced firsthand. And now, the final verdict. How would I describe OPPO's flagship imaging phone this year? To me, it feels like a true optical revolution created by OPPO and Hasselblad. Compared to the Find X6 Ultra and even many of the oversized camera systems competitors proudly promote, the X9 Ultra pushes mobile photography to a completely new level. What makes it special isn't just its ability to produce incredible images, it also improves the everyday photography experience for regular users. In other words, it doesn't only help professionals capture amazing shots, it helps everyone take better photos. The X9 Ultra almost feels like a glimpse into the future of compact cameras, yet at its core, it's still a complete flagship smartphone. This isn't a device built around camera specs for marketing purposes, it's a genuinely balanced flagship with very few weaknesses. We're already working on a full Ultra flagship comparison, and honestly, the X9 Ultra is one of the phones I recommend most right now. And if you're excited to see that comparison, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.